Hello everyone, it's Paula, and I am coming to you today to make some Christmas traveler's notebooks. Now they're not traditional, they're in the pinks, but they're beautiful. And not everyone loves the pink journals, or but a lot of people do, and I look at it like it can transfer to any kind of journal after Christmas if you want it to. We're not going to over Christmas it. So I've already made two, and I'm going to show you those. Here's one, and here's two. So I've picked out my papers, which, I did the pinks, and I did some Christmas, and you'll see. We'll go through it. And then we're going to decorate all three covers. So that's what today's video is going to be. And so the first thing we're going to do is put this journal together, stitch it together, and then we'll look at doing the cover. Okay, so let's get started. I've missed you guys. My life has been crazy, but hopefully is going to get better. I plan on doing a video once a week if possible, and sometimes sooner if I can. Depends on how crazy it is. Right now it's pretty crazy trying to get the Christmas tree up. Thanksgiving's tomorrow, and so we'll see. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make sure all my papers are pushed all the way back. And I want to line my papers up and make sure they're not taller on the top than they are on the bottom. Now, I'll give you measurements after we're finished if you'd like those. Okay. So, the first thing I do is I get them all pushed back, and then you can use any kind of clip. I wouldn't use the little paper clips because you're not going to get a real super duper hold, if you know what I mean, as far as keeping your papers in order. I'm trying to get it where my hands are working right. I've had a few hand surgeries since I was on the show, since I did the videos last, and that was the reason I had to pretty much give up doing them for quite a while, was between my hands and my feet. I'm telling you, life was crazy for me. Okay, now I'm going to go up with the longest part of this, and I'm going to take it underneath and then just push up and hook it. And then I make sure everything's still shoved back because I don't want it, coming forward. And then I just kind of put the clips on one side, and then I turn them around. You always want to make sure your papers are all in the right direction too. And these are, so I've already checked that part. You want to make sure everything stays lined up as you do it. You make sure. See, I haven't made a book in a while. I mean, that's not true. I have. I've got one Christmas book I'm going to put in my shop. I just haven't got it in there yet. And I've got some other books in there. Got some Christmas books in there. You can check out. And I'm going to try to not make my books over the top expensive. Of course, you do have to profit a tiny bit. Not a lot. There won't be a lot of profit. It's more for fun and entertainment for me. We're retired, and now I'm going to go back to the other. You do alternate 8 sides here, okay? And you get the inside first, so you can get those papers as lined up as possible. Then I go back right here and get them down again a little bit. Right here toward the middle, kind of, is what I do. And I don't decorate them first because I like to make sure. I put that up there, but I meant to put it closer to the spine. I'm sorry. Okay. Then I'm going to put the last clip in here. These are the only 4 giant clips I have, so I've got to make sure I don't lose them, so I don't have to go hunting for more. The other clips, I just can't clip them on and off. So I'm kind of bad at that. Now, I just made a small template, you know, the same height as my book. And since it's one signature, I don't have to worry about all of that. I mean, I literally could go without this template if I wanted to. And just by eyeballing it, because, you know, it's not too much here involved in doing a single one. Okay, so we've got that in here. You want to make sure you have the top at the top of the book. I have it marked top. Now, it wouldn't make that big of a difference on a single signature as much as it would on the, and then I'm getting this little black marker to mark where I want it to go. Now, you want to use something dark enough that you can see where you marked it. And make sure it's still where you want it. I kind of keep it up and put a book here underneath so that when I use my awl, I can get in the right spots easily. I usually start in the middle and found my little mark here. I'm not as strong as I once was. So I hope I'm staying. If I don't stay in screen, this is my first video. Give me mercy, but let me know so I can make any corrections I need to as far as that goes. My very favorite thing to make is, quite honestly, traveler's notebooks. They seem to turn out so much prettier than I think we expect. It gives you an opportunity to spend more time on them, you know, than you would with a double or triple signature one. Okay, right here. Keep your pages up. Go straight down. Yeah, making sure I'm going straight down by keeping these up. Go down as good as you can, and then make sure you're in the center on your line there. And then you want to mark the rest of them. Now, I have this giant awl in my hand here. And what I do is once I know it's kind of sticking through, I push it a little bit. Be careful not to get your finger. It does hurt. Ask me how I know. Okay. All right. And I try not to make them too big because this thing can get pretty big, if you know what I mean. So you have to pay attention if you have a chubby one like I do. Okay. And now I'm going to go to this one. I hope my head's not in the way because I did comb my hair. But by now it's kind of a mess. We've been doing everything you can imagine since it's the day before Thanksgiving. We've got our tree up and the topper on it, and our Christmas lights outside are up, but that's it. We got to have some muscle come over and help us get our things down, you know, off the, out of the attic. We're just past being able to do that on our own, unfortunately. Okay, so you measure 3 times the height of your book. So 1, 2, 3, and then I just usually throw in just a tiny bit extra, but most of the time I end up cutting it off. So if you don't want to waste like me. So I'm going to go in this middle. You leave your clips on until you have this completely strung. And I'm going to go in this middle hole from the inside. And then I usually go to I make sure one of the strings stays out and the other one pulls through. Let me see if I can get that to happen. There we go. Okay, now you want to keep it folded, and you're going to go, here's the top. You're going to go through the top up here from the outside of the spine. And sometimes you're not lucky enough to get it to come straight through, and sometimes you are. But most of the time I feel like if you pay attention to where you're putting your holes and all of that, you shouldn't have any problems. And then you're going to push this to the side, this extra string on the inside. We want it to stay there. And we're going to come straight down, and we're going to find the hole at the other end of the book, which is right here. And we're going to pull it out of the back of the spine here. Okay. And make sure you're doing it tight here as you go along. And then this is the harder part. You want to be careful not to grab your stitch with your needle when you come back in. And it's easy to do. If you do, don't panic. You just pull it out and start over if you need to. Or sometimes it will just come through without any problem. And you don't have to do anything. And then I'm going to go under this so I can have a string on each side of the book. And at this point, you want to tighten it. It looks like I didn't get quite center. Oh, no, I did. You just want to look and make sure it's tight out here. And it is. So now we just need to go one over. Tie it tight here. Then come back and do a square knot. That's what I try to do. Just alternate. And I usually do 3. Most people don't. But I'm not most people, as you know. I can be an odd duck when I need to be. Okay, now, you want to find out what's top and bottom. Okay, take your clips out. It's safe to do that now. Pick them up, put them out of your way. So, that's all there is to it, except I do trim. You could put beads on the end of your strings if you'd like. I'm not going to do that, I don't believe. I might put some charms on there or something. I don't know yet. Haven't made up my mind. And got that far. I have no idea what the future holds as far as this book goes. These books go. I just know where I'm at right now. Do you do that when you make books or something like that? I think it's because I just start with something. I started with this pink cardstock right here. And actually, it is I believe this is a variety of different papers. So I can't tell you exactly who it is, but it's Antique Paperia, I believe, for the cover. And if that's not correct, I'll let you know, but I believe that's exactly what it is. If it's different, I'll let you know. Okay, now, close up all my stitching or binding things and put those up so that we can move on. And I can move this off my desk, which will give us some extra room. Okay. All right. Now, a little bit of space. Not a lot, but a little bit. Okay. So, what my plan is, clean up my mess so I know where I'm at here. Let me watch my video because I did attempt to do one other video and it shut off on me. So, I don't want that to happen this time if I can avoid it. So we have 3 covers that are identical. The books are identical inside as well. Pages are in the same order. So, gotta take me a drink. I have 3 different ways I want to do the outside of the books. So, I'm going to set 2 of them aside so we can get started on this one. Now, as far as it goes, I'm not doing anything major over the top. But my first one is going to be used with Fabri-Tac. I filled up my jar. We should be good to go. So this is the old piece of a table cover, like a hutch or something. And this is all I have left. I think I have 2 little tiny scraps. And I have loved this trim for so long. And it had a white fabric here. And as you can see, I trimmed all that off. Which this portion is going to go in the back. And this is going to be in the front. And yes, it does have little flowers. It's not poinsettias. But these are going to be Christmas books. So what you got to decide here is how far up on the book you want to go. I don't want to cover the tree. Maybe a branch or something might get covered, but overall, I do not want to cover the tree. Now, I just want to make sure that this right here actually ends up on the top. So I'm just going to, first of all, keep your fingers crossed. I'm just going to put glue in my squiggly way right here. And I'm sure that should work. Now I say it should work. I'm just going to say it's going to work. We want to make sure it is straight for sure. That part we want to know for sure, right? So I'm going to get my Tim Holtz ruler. And this is the old ruler, not the new one. I'm sorry, I'm sticking with the old one. It's 3 3/8. Let's see if we can keep it in that spot all the way down. Okay, shows this one is quite a bit off, so let's just pull it up. And you can always, that's the nice thing, you do have some play with perfect. I think it's perfect. A little bit on the perfect side now. Now, we know this is all adhered. So now what we want to do is flip it over. And we do want to adhere the rest of it. But first I want to trim this right here. I want to make sure this looks nice when it's all said and done. Let's open it out for a minute. You can't get your scissors in there if you don't have it somewhat open. I just found out. Okay. Yeah. Little bit right there. Only I would worry about that little piece. I'm very much a perfectionist for those of you that don't know me. I've been on YouTube for some time, but I haven't been on a video in some time because my overall health, but I'm doing so much better. And we've moved back to Oklahoma, where my kids are just recently. So that makes a big difference, I think, too. Okay, so I didn't put the glue directly down on the thread that is part of the binding, but it wouldn't hurt if you did. I'm going to just put it right here, I think, on the cloth itself. And I'm not going to be too heavy with it. I'm going to try not to be too heavy with it. And then I'll go back and add glue around the very edges. Right here, actually. I'm just going to do it while we're here. And it just feels right. Do you ever do that? Just change your mind at the last second? Now, the thing about Fabri-Tac is it does, like I said, it is forgiving. It does give you time to make a decision, I guess, is what I'd say. Okay, now, the strings that come along with glue, man alive, you know. I would let this dry before you start opening and closing it because it can reposition your trim if you don't. Now, I am going to go ahead and press right here. That looks pretty good so far. Let's trim this. It's kind of crooked. Getting a little bit of glue on my scissors. That's all right. One thing for sure is you can always get some glue be gone on them, right? There. Now, this is looking good. I'm liking the way that's looking. I don't want it to be gaudy. I just want it to, you know, look delicate, Christmassy delicate. Okay, now we still have these flaps up, so I'm going to go along and put a little bit of glue under these flaps. Try to keep my book down at the same time. Let's do this. I need to drag out my book press. That one of my, one of the subscribers got me in a Happy Mail quite some time ago. And it does help, especially when you're doing multiple signatures. You can get them on Amazon. I think that's where I've seen them before. Okay. So we got a new tree this year. And yes, we got one bigger than normal. We got a 7.5 foot. And we've never had more than a 7. So it seems really tall. And then I got a new snowman head topper. And I've had a snowman head topper for many years too, but the one I had in the past, it would light up and change different colors on certain parts of the snowman. But and he's still available in my attic, but I saw this new one and it was so cute. And I thought, you know, it doesn't have lights on it, but there's so many lights on the tree. He doesn't really need to light up. But every time I put that on there, I have to grab the little napkin because it wants to leave strings. That's okay, as long as it holds. Okay. Ta-da! What do you think? Do you think we need anything down in this area? Like little charms or anything like that? I've got to think. I have some cute little beads, but I'm going to wait till the end to decide if we need beads. Now, see, I didn't add a whole lot. And just FYI, there's a good chance I'll add more at some point. But right now, that is all I want to do with this journal. Give me your opinion. I love to get comments. Nice comments, please. Nice comments. I don't like those that are not nice. How about you? Okay, so there's that one already. Now I'm going to bring out the second book. And again, they're all identical. Now, I have another one that I'm going to do similar to that. So let's do that one first. But I'm going to do it with these little rosettes. I know. It's not something that people use much anymore. But it doesn't mean we can't, right? And it's 3 rows is what it is of these little rosettes as one piece. It's meant to use together, but I will cut it apart if necessary. I'm trying to decide which part. I think I want to put this part here on the front and then trim this back part off. Sorry, I just hit the phone. Let me make sure we're still rolling. You know, it's real easy to do that. It's amazing to me how fast a video goes. Oh my goodness. So, I hope you guys like the new opening. I had my daughter put something together because everybody has an opening now. You just don't jump on and say hello like in the olden days. But I'm trimming in between the flowers on the netting that's holding all of these together. Just so you know. Okay, come on. There we go. Almost there. Okay, now if I can get down to this last one and cut the right thing. So all the grandkids are growing, of course, since I've talked with you guys last. And I'll just give you an example of what I mean. That looks fine. And if you see anything that, you know, still not quite as clean as you want, just go back and clean it up a little bit. And because we are not perfect, right? We're just human. We make mistakes. Okay. And like here on the end, I'm going to leave that. But you can see on this side, there's a lot of netting. Now, I don't want that netting on there. So I'm going to come through here and go through and trim the netting off the best I can. Take just a second. I'll do this quickly. So, you know, I have 5 grandchildren, and I had the one that was sick. That was Charlie. He is 12 now. I know. It's hard to believe he's 12. But he is, and he is at 98% of being healed. So, you know, he had a very rare autoimmune disease. Same one that the boy in the bubble had. But, you know, God healed him. I'm just going to tell you out front, I'm a Christian, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well. And a lot of you were praying for him and having great thoughts for him. But, you know, the power of prayer is amazing, and the power of the Lord is amazing as well. So, he is just thriving. He goes back and sees his doctor about every 6 months to a year. And he has no tubes. He has nothing. He's not medicated with stuff to keep him alive or anything like that. He's just a little boy who God healed. So that's Charlie James. And I believe he's in 3rd or 4th grade. And he does struggle. He was very behind when he started school. So he just had to do the best he could. And but he's a smart little boy. Don't let him fool you. He is smart. And we love him. We love him, love him. Okay, so he's the youngest. And of the 5, we have 5 all together. Let me see which side I want in the back and which side I want in the front. I think I want this one that seems like it wants to be straighter in the front. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We don't want to make this difficult or anything, so we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put glue here, you know, not in your spine, but as close as you can get so we can get the rosebuds to glue together. Or glue onto the book. I'm going to start lining it up from the bottom here. Get my fingers to work. And I'm going to line it up even on, because I think we're going to have 1 extra flower here on the end. And again, I want to measure and make sure everything is coming out just like we want. This time it's not up on the book quite as much. Let me see. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's higher on the top than it is down here on the bottom, so we'll pull that up a little bit. Now, let me look. I could tell a lot by the back, too, on what's straight and what's not straight. Okay, this top part needs to come forward just a little. Perfect. Now, I am going to cut the extra roses off rosebuds off up here at the top. You do want to make sure you don't cut the top of the flower that's going to stay on the book. Do the best you can right there. Now, you ask me, I love pink. I love to make pink journals, but I don't necessarily love pink Christmas as far as my house goes, as far as what's in the house and stuff. We don't decorate pink or anything like that. But, yeah. So, we try to keep it down to what's normal. We really don't have a particular color. Probably, if I had to say I had a particular color, it would be, for the snowman. I like blue, but I also like a lot of red with my snowman. Gonna do the back just like we did the front. And this time we're gonna also do the edging of the flowers. Now, I'm going to come up, bring them over. It should be even when we get over here. Try not to bend the pages on the inside. It's not always easy when you're flipping and flopping. So cute. Never have done this before on a journal as far as using these rosettes like this. I've had these for some time. I just haven't done it. You know, I pulled out. Let me get some wipey. Put on my hand here. Keep it handy. I have done a lot of journal covers, and I don't think I've ever done that with these rosettes. So, yeah, there we go. Number 2 is complete. Oh, which is your favorite? I can't decide. I love them both. Even though I love this trim, I think I'm loving these rosettes right this minute. You know, it's like, Now, this one's kind of sticking out a little bit, so I am going to trim it just a hair. If I can get it to trim without any problem. All right. So I'm not going to push these open until we give them time to dry. I feel like it will look better if we give them some dry time. Now, the next one's going to be totally different than this. It is, clear my mess off here. It's completely different. It is going to have, let me get a drink. Okay. This time we're going to use doily. Yeah, you heard me. Old doily on these. And I've also got these little flowers that have this yellow spot, which I don't like. So we're going to add a little tiny pink center to it. So those can be drying. It's not hard to do at all. Just make sure you cover the yellow. Work great, right? Let's do this one. I've had these little flowers forever. I don't even remember where I got them all. Whoops! Went sliding off. I started digging and forgot all of the things that I have in my stash. I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot I had that. I forgot I had that. It was like going for Christmas. Okay. There's that. And we have one more. Now these will just be glued on top of the doily at some point. We're going to let these dry for a minute, move them out of the way, and we're going to come over here with this piece of doily. Now it's just a little circle doily. I cut the edges out there. And trying to remember now how I had it. Have to think for a second. I brought it up like this, I believe. But then brought this around. Maybe I did it the other way. You got to pay attention, you know, because you forget what you do. Okay. So I don't want to cover up my tree any more than that right there. So, but I also, I don't want this to not be at the right angle. Let me see. That's the wrong side. So, I had this on last night. You know, that's how it works, right? You place stuff on how you want it, and then you're not sure. Because I wanted this to come over, and then as I got toward the back, I stretched it. That's what I did. Okay, so the fun part about this is knowing where to glue right now. We're just going to put glue on here and hope that it does the trick. Now, you can stitch these on, which look really nice too, but I just didn't want to do anything to weaken the cover this time. And there are times I do. I guess I just didn't want to take a chance. And I'll tell you, my scrapbook room at the new house here is tiny compared to anything I've ever had. So I'm pulling this forward here once I've got this glued. It's going to leave a little gap right here, which will take care of that. But I wanted it to go down further than what I've got it now. Let's see. Okay. Put a little glue here. A little more glue here. And get that glue down. Okay. Come on. Cooperate. Okay, there we go. Now, doesn't seem like much right now, but it will look better as we go along here. I test drove it last night and made sure. Now, I'm going to cut these little edges that are hanging off. The thing about doily is you don't always have to have this perfect edge on your page. Yeah, it's nice to have that little fanciness going on if you can. But it's not necessary. I don't want any glue coming out from the front of that, so I'm kind of pushing it back. Okay, now, this is the front. Now, let's see how far. Okay, I'm going to go back here. We're going to, ooh, how did I get sticky back there? Oh, it's coming out of my, off of my doily. But that's okay. We can clean it up when we're done here. And the nice thing is it will come off the book without any problem too. It's one thing I like about Fabri-Tac is you know, it is very forgiving in lots of ways. Now, as you can see here, we got this big chunk out here and we're thinking, what are we going to do with that? You know, what are we going to do with that chunk? Well, we're going to make sure this all looks right here. All the way around. sure all of that's on there just like we want it. And you can see there's some dry glue right here, and I will get that off. That's the Fabri-Tac, of course, that seeped through. Okay, so that is on, and let me push up on this. Is a dry Kleenex. I don't want to put wet on my cardstock, but I want to roll that little piece of glue that's at the end off. And I have plenty of time to do that as well once it's finished. Okay, so there we go on that part. Now, we're not done. I'm trying to decide, did I want to do like this, which I think is how I ended up doing it. Or do I want to do like that? Which I don't think I like that as well. We could do like up higher with this one and over a little bit. I know one of them was up here toward this corner to kind of camouflage it. One of them can be right here. And then the other one can be just above this area here to kind of camouflage it. They don't have to be any perfect spot, or we can do them straight. I'm going to stand up so I can look and see if I like them straight or if I like them in a circle. I'm thinking I'm going to like them straight better. It looks like it was on purpose, you know. And that can make a difference. Sometimes people just slap stuff on and there's no purpose. Yes, I like that better. Let me see how it's doing up here. Do I want to do it like that? I think I want to do it more like that on this top one especially. And we're going to worry about the back once this front has dried. You don't really have to worry about it right now because, honestly, you want everything to dry first. Now, let's go like this. Yeah. And I want that one to be up in that corner just like that. Then we'll do the second one. Sorry, I'm up in your face here with my hand. I'm sorry. Makes it hard for you to see, I'm sure. Okay. And I'm not putting the flowers in any certain angle. In other words, the leaves are, this one I did because I wanted this top to be flatter right there so it covered that corner, which I knew I was going to have that little corner to deal with. And I'm not even going to show you the back right now because I've got to let this dry, and then I'll work on getting the back done before the next video. Let's see. And this one, I'm thinking I wanted right here. So it kind of looks like it's on this little curve, which really we don't have much of a curve right now. Okay. So what do you think? That's pretty too, huh? Right now we just have this, but I will make it just as pretty when it's all said and done. So, let's bring them all down. How about that? I'm going to bring them all down and see how different every single one of them turned out. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty pleased with them. So now I've got to decide, do I want to add some beads here at the bottom? Well, we have some time between now and the next video for me to think about that. And then we've got some beautiful ephemera. We're going to start decorating the inside. And then they'll be ready to go in the shop. So, I I don't put you guys through picking out the papers because my friend told me once that, Paula, that's boring to sit and watch you decide on paper. She said everybody can figure out what papers to use without having everyone watch it. So that's what I decided to try in my new adventures of returning to YouTube. Let me know what you think. Do you like seeing it come together with all the pages? Now, in this situation, we didn't have to put the book together because it was just cardstock, heavy cardstock. But if it was a book with a 2-inch spine or whatever, that's different. But we would not have to show the paper process, or really the binding process after a while. I'll do it the first few times. Okay, guys, so my future plan is to get these finished, and then I'm going to show you a couple books that I've just put in my shop, and they're not there yet, so hang on. After the next, you can go look now. I mean, two of these may go into the shop, and we'll just decorate one of them. So if I can go ahead and work on the other two, then we can move on and get more and more in the shop so you have more choices if you should decide to purchase something, which I appreciate if you do. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I don't even know how many subscribers I have now, but I think it's moved up a little bit while I've been gone. It's because I have a lot of old, awesome videos out there, so be sure you go out and check out the old and compare it to the new. And let me know what you think about the new opening and ending of my channel. And what else? Oh, I didn't tell you about the other kids. So Charlie's 12, Charlie James. And above him is Alaska Kay, who just turned 17. Yes, 17. She's a junior in high school. It's her first year in public school. So she's having the time of her life. And her cousin, who is just above her, is Lucy Bloom, who is 17 also, who is a senior. And so they're having a lot of fun going to the dances and doing different things because they have a lot of the same interest. They're both in theater, arts, and other fun things. Lucy's enjoying that and has enjoyed it since she's been in school. And then we have Oliver Stiles, who's 19, and he just graduated last year. Right now, he's working in his dad's business, loving it. Doesn't really want to step into college at this time. I think he'll someday take over his dad's business. Who knows, right? But he's really into weightlifting, and he's very, very handsome. And the oldest one is Elliot Xavier. And Elliot is 21. He just turned 21 October 29th. And he has a job, and he doesn't have his license yet, but he has his permit, and he's working on it. He's just a slow, him and Oliver both. Actually, the only one that has their license, and they all four can drive, is Lucy Bloom. And that's because she's a different kind of person. You know, they're all different. And kids just don't drive as much as they used to. I'm finding this from a lot of other grandparents that tell me that. But that's okay. They'll grow into it. And Elliot graduated, I believe, 2.5 years ago. Well, when he was 19. He was 18. He was 18 when he graduated. And then he went and got his associate's degree. He's extremely smart. He had 5 years of Japanese, if that tells you anything. And so he's taking a break this year, and then he wants to go and get his bachelor's. So we'll see. But I love all 5 of my grandkids. They're special to me, and they come before anything else. I know you know what I mean. Okay, guys, well, we're at 49 minutes and 40 seconds, so I'm going to say goodbye. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it today, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.